Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing good today. What I thought I might do tonight is post, what I'm trying to do is kind of my old journals that I was doing from January, February, March. Kind of start posting them up. This is kind of the next in the series. It's a, the bad thing is I didn't date, the the videos themselves, so it's hard for me to figure out when it happened, but by watching this video and going back to my calendar, I can tell this is from February 13th. And it talks about kind of staying motivated when things get low, and kind of surviving guests in the house. The audio was a little bit weird. I was still learning my gear and stuff back then, so don't apologize for that. But I kind of find it interesting watching myself back then, the way I was thinking and the stuff that was going through my head to kind of get me to where I am today. And the hair is out of control, still locked down here in Hawaii. I contacted my hairdresser today, and we were supposed to have an appointment on Friday, but of course they have pushed back the stay-at-home orders for Hawaii until the end of May, so that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to have to figure this out. It's like going to be so long by then. I think near where I did this video was the last time I had a haircut, so that's that. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this. I hope if you're going through this weight loss thing, that these kind of little insights that I do keep you motivated. Kept me motivated just by writing it down, by journaling everything. That's one of the big things that I learned, especially, excuse the noise, is writing stuff down, especially your food journal. Get that thing down because you got to know what you're tracking. I talk a little bit about being scared of the scale in here too, so that'd be kind of, I don't think I actually mentioned my weight at that time. I don't remember what it was. February, if I was to guess, it was probably around 235 pounds, maybe, something like that. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it, and thank you, and I will talk to you soon. Hey, so I'm slightly obsessed with watching British overweight people shows. My friend Ed said that it's probably bad for me to do that I should be watching like people who I want to look like instead of fat people British shows. So not, I guess the reason why I do it is because I want to hammer like in my brain what I don't want to be whenever I'm craving like chocolate or ice cream or bread, or I have to tell you, well, Ed is not here right now. He went back to his place, and he's going to be staying there for the weekend, I think. But when he's around, it's super hard. Last night he bought a Papa John's pizza, like my favorite one, with like all the stuff on it, and I love that. And I had finished my dinner already, and then he brought it home and was eating the pizza at the thing, and I didn't have any. I was pretty cool about it. I don't want to make other people uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to like make them freak out and change the way they have to act around me. That's not fair for them. It smelled really good though. The smell was like super good. But he brought in a bunch of stuff like trail mix and candy bars and stuff and Reese's my favorite candy in the world, little Reese's peanut butter cups. so good. But he went back to his place for a few days and he took all that stuff with him, so safe. I've been walking a lot lately, so like at least like 7 miles a day. My work is about 3.5 miles from here, and I've been doing that there and back. I found I've been pretty much doing that every day for a while, and yesterday I started having some problems with my hips and my hip flexors, I think because I like to walk really fast. And so I decided to give my legs a little break today. So I walked to work, and then I rode a rental bike back home, and that was pretty fun. I noticed it seemed like my thighs were pretty burning, because I don't think when you walk you don't really use those muscles so much, just very little. It's mostly like your hip flexors, I think, that, you know, I don't know what that, you know, I don't know what the specific anatomy word for them is, but I rode home, but I noticed that I felt pretty good riding the bike. I haven't ridden the bike for a long time, and it seemed like I was able to accelerate a little faster and get going. There's pros and cons of riding bikes. They have a really good bike route from where I work all the way pretty much to my house, but the one problem with the bike route is for probably about 3/4 of a mile, maybe almost a mile, you have to share the bike route with the city buses. And it can be stressful, because if a bus is behind you, you need to like haul butt, because it's hard for the buses to squeeze around you when you're riding the bike on the road. And so I have this stress that I have to always keep going as fast as I can to stay in front of the buses. So I was doing that, but it felt pretty easy this time to do it. Excuse me, I've had this kind of thing in my chest for a couple of weeks, and it's getting better, but it's not sure exactly what it is. It seems to be getting better. If it gets any worse, I'll go see the doctor. But that's why I can't really talk like a long time in one breath. But I got back here and decided to ride the bike home and then just go to the gym in the afternoon to kind of just work out, you know, my upper body and kind of let the legs rest a little bit. Tomorrow I have to go to a court date. I got a subpoena, and because I witnessed a car wreck in February, and I guess I need to testify to that. I'm not sure exactly what they want. I mean, I gave them the dash cam footage. I don't know if they just want to say, was this your dash cam? And I would say, yeah. But I'll probably ride real slow on the bike to the courthouse tomorrow. I sweat a lot when I exercise, so I don't want to go too fast, because I want to wear like my court clothes. I mean, here in Hawaii you don't really have to dress up like in a suit and stuff to go to court. I figured I'd just wear my aloha shirt and ride the bike real slow, second gear only, all the way, so that I don't sweat, and then do that. This is the first time I've ever had to testify in court before, and I've never been on a jury or anything, so I'm not sure exactly what's involved. I did have to go to court for something stupid at the airport, but I'll tell you about that another day. But the main thing I wanted to do this is because I've been doing the keto diet for probably almost 6 weeks now. It's hard to remember, but I was feeling a little weird lately, a little down. It was nice when Ed came, because he's a good buddy of mine, and we get to talk, and he's really like spiritual when it comes to like health stuff. Like, doesn't like doctors and things like that. I personally love doctors, and I think it's good if you're into holistic stuff and spiritual healing and stuff like that. It's good to do that too, because it's always a good idea to to use as many, healthful, because I think a lot of, believe it or not, I think a lot of that whatever therapy you're using to get better, if your mind is in there too, then that helps everything heal. So he's really into that though. But it was kind of good to have him around, and I was feeling a little down. And today I was watching one of my favorite guys on YouTube talk about buying food at Target or something, and he mentioned omega-3s and how if you're on omega-6, you get a lot of omega-6 oils in a lot of the food that you choose in keto, especially when you're first starting out, because you don't know really exactly what to do, so you kind of eat the same thing over and over again. But he said an excess of omega-6 oils can affect your brain and have this weird kind of depression. So I was like, whoa, that's kind of what I've been going through. And I've been having a hard time sleeping. And he said, yeah, in the video I was like, you can have a hard time sleeping too. So I happen to have like cans and cans and cans of sardines that I have in my pantry that I've been kind of avoiding. So I'm going to start eating some of those at least once a day to see if I can bring those omega-3 levels up, to see if that helps me with my I wouldn't call it depression, but it's just a weird down feeling that I have. I mean, depression to me is like a serious illness. I don't think I have that. But I do have problems sleeping. And so maybe this will help. I really don't like eating sardines, but I like them better than tuna. And I guess the sardines have a lot more, especially I like them a lot better than salmon, because I really don't like salmon. So I'm gonna try eating that for maybe one time a day to see if that helps even me out a little bit. I also wrote down a whole bunch of new foods that he suggested to add to my diet that are keto friendly. So I'm gonna make a shopping list and go shop with that for this weekend. I did a weigh-in this morning. I am a little bit less than when I weighed, about a pound less than when I weighed last week at the doctor. But I don't like to fixate on the scale because it can vary wildly. But I think, and I used to make that as an excuse as not weighing myself because the scale is not that accurate all the time. It varies. But I also believe that you need to check, because if you don't know how you're doing and then you do it like the day before you have to weigh in at your doctor and it's like way off, then there's nothing you could do. But if you check in once in a while with yourself, with the weight, and I actually check my ketone levels with a blood test kit, and I like to do that because it's another like reinforcement thing that kind of keeps you like it kind of tells you that you're on the right track. If as long as your levels are there, you're not messing up on your diet. And you can tell right away if your ketones are like 0.5 or less, and that means there's something wrong. You're not in ketosis anymore. So I like to check that because I like a little bit of feedback, because to me doing this thing is like so hard, and if you don't get the feedback with the scale, because the weight can be really deceiving. You could be gaining a little bit of muscle and losing less fat, and it can be really depressing if you step on the scale and it's not what you think it should be. So I try to have different kinds of feedback on how I'm doing. So I like to try on clothes that used to not fit me and now they do, or at least you can get them on. Like I tried on these diesel jeans that I had a long time ago. I used to get into them. I got sick in 2017 and lost a whole bunch of weight. Might talk about that later. But I was able to get those jeans on and button them. I mean, I would never wear them out because they're just super tight. But, that's something kind of feedback too. And like old shirts and stuff that I kept that I want to get back into. Try them on and see how far across the chest they get. So that's good. That's another good feedback besides weight. you know, it's hard to fixate just on one thing. So I have at least 3 things that I'm doing to kind of gauge how I'm doing. But that's I guess the main thing I wanted to talk about is the weird kind of emotional depression thing. But what's surprising is I don't have hunger. I get hungry and I eat my food and I'm not hungry anymore. I don't snack between, you know, I don't snack at work, which is where the bad snacks are. I only snack when I know I have good snacks around. So like macadamia nuts or pecans or something like that. And I'll do that here, or I might bring it to work, but usually I just drink water and drink tea at work. Tea is really good with a little like monk fruit sweetener. It's like gets me by, you know. So that's how I'm doing right now. So I might go see a movie with Ed this weekend. He wants to see Star Wars. I saw it already, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it again, just for like a fun night out, you know. Might do that. But tomorrow I'll probably do the same thing I did today with my exercise. I want to try to get at least an hour in of exercise a day. On my Apple Watch, my goal is 700 calories a day, but I've been hitting like, what am I at right now? It's 7:30 p.m. right now, and I am at about 1100 move calories today. So my goal is 700, so I'm a little over that. My exercise is 78 minutes, which is, you know, more than the 60. So I think today would be it's not my, you know, I've walked about 6 miles today. I did walk to the gym. It's not my longest day, but I don't think I could hit the longest one every day, because I think it's going to break down my hips and stuff, and I don't want to hurt myself so that I can't walk. So tomorrow it's a good excuse, because I have the court date tomorrow, and I can ride the bike, and then after court I can do whatever I want in the afternoon. So, well, that's kind of all I had for today. I love this Panasonic G7 setup, but I got to be careful because I can't, you know, my eyes are not good. So I'm looking at the monitor. I hope it's in focus. The last couple videos I did were not in focus. The lighting was really bad, and the background was really bad. I have a really like awful looking refrigerator that I really need to swap out, but it works. You know, I hate to like throw something away that works, but you know, it doesn't look good on videos. So I figured I would, you know, do it against one of the walls in my living room, my little small house. So anyway, that's kind of all I had for today. If this ever gets out on the internet, thank you for watching. I'm not sure if I'm going to post these. I'm kind of doing them as a journal for myself. If I think it might help anybody who's going through this, I might do it. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well, I think that's it. Bye.